Where does creativity begin?
You're just, you're not distracted. In this world of multitasking, no, great ideas, I don't think, come out of multitasking.
Empty canvas, empty stage, empty timeline, empty doorway.
When you are in front of something empty, there are two ways. Or you leave it empty and then you ask a lot of money for the emptiness. Yeah. Or you invade this emptiness, either with something that's worth the trouble to do it, or with nonsense.
Every piece of artwork begins with absence. In order to create anything, you have to face nothing, and that's hard for people to do. Most people are uncomfortable with emptiness.
I think the space, I live on a beach in Reykjavik, and for me, it's not even so much even about the ocean. It's just that there is 50% of my horizon is
nothing. Space. Yeah.
So I like space.
Yeah.
So and I actually read some biographies of composers, and a lot of them end up, even though they make music that's insane, they often end up moving like away from cities and into like just to get space, just to have silence, so their sort of internal musical monologue can grow.
Filmmakers allow the audience to fill that space with their imagination. Sometimes it's uneasy. You know something crazy is about to happen, but you don't know when, and you don't know what it's gonna be. Remember this episode with Will Smith? This is an example to an emotional response to negative space. Because all the episodes before this episode, that space was filled with moments, it was filled with people, it was filled with furniture, it was filled with conflict. Now you have this negative space. Nothing's there, just Will. It's important to recognize environments that protect our thoughts.
I do get quite nervous if you've got people you don't know coming in, listening. In the London studio, people are always coming in, borrowing pieces of equipment. The phone's always ringing, and it's costing you a phenomenal amount of money every hour. So you do feel guilty if you experiment, because you feel you're just throwing the money away. At home, obviously, there aren't those pressures at all.
Commercial pressure doesn't help in terms of cognitive load. Time can create a good environment or a bad environment, depending on the person. Unfortunately, as we use our brain, we use energy. So when we put ourselves in a space where we're not using our brain, we kind of go into default mode. It allows your brain to focus on one thing, and that's called attention restoration theory.
Sometimes I just got to go get like some solitude to like get clarity, and so I was like, should I go to New York? Should I post in New York? I do that a lot. I'm like, nah, like I need to go back to Fayetteville and I need to come. And as long as I've had this house, and as many times I've been in here and been back, I haven't stayed the night here. And mad long. So at one point last year, I had to just come, and it was like my first time staying the night in here. Like I literally had to like buy a bed, you know what I mean? The bed that they bought, well, not me, I didn't buy a bed. I had someone, can y'all get a bed and throw it in for us? And the bed that they bought is a king. It was like a king size. That shit don't fit in my room.
Whole room.
You saw my room.
Yeah, that looks like a twin size space.
That's a twin. That's a healthy twin. You might could fit a medium in there, but it's like they got a king size, so it wouldn't fit in my room. You know what I mean? So like they put it in my mom's room, my mom and my stepdad's room, and so like for the first time in a long time, I'm staying the night here, and for the first time in my life, I'm sleeping in my parents' room in a sense, and it was mad weird. But that trip did actually like give me clarity that I was looking for, and like I had an aha moment, and it was a big like breakthrough.
When you change your environment, it changes your thoughts. That change of context can bring about clarity. That's what they might call context-dependent cognition.
I learned so much from Miles that I would be a very different piano player had it not been for that experience in playing with that particular Miles Davis group, because of Miles and because of all the sidemen. But one of the things that Miles provided among many things is the attitude to really encourage an individual to develop his creativity, you know, and he was very concerned about young people. He hired a very young band, and he wanted us to figure things out ourselves. He wanted us to continually work on things. I mean, he even said, I pay you to practice on the bandstand, on the stage, in front of the people, not just in your room. You know, the idea was not just to go to your room and practice something and learn it perfectly and then play it in front of the people. Miles wanted true jazz improvisation to be presented by this band, which means you capture that moment, not the moment in your room hours earlier.
Some people create environments so other people can be creative, even if they don't do it on purpose. It's like a psychological safety net. Some people need permission to try.
I think that one of the main ways I'm different as an actor than the way I started was I have learned how to shake off a bad take. My whole existence as an actor is not defined by a good take or a bad take anymore. And so I have gotten comfortable with, okay, that was terrible. Let's learn something from it and try to find something else.
You know, personally, the permission to suck, like the permission to
make a loud wrong choice.
To sort of fail
Yeah.
boldly and find that thin ice to be on is sort of the best thing you can give yourself as an actor.
I think so much of that precision that you're talking about has to do with the team that I was on and the way that I was able to make hyper-specific choices because of the excellence of everyone.
I literally tell directors now that I've been pretty accomplished, I will walk onto a set because I liberated myself. And I literally would say this and remind people. I would tell this to script supervisors who try to give me a note the moment I'm done with it, rehearsing a scene. I'm like, it's okay. I'm going to get there because I know my own esteem when it comes to getting my lines right, getting my blocking right. I have to liberate myself to make a mistake. I've told people like Steven Spielberg, and he literally told me that back to me. He says, your first 3 takes, you're figuring things out. By the 4th, you're in the pocket. So before I start dialing it in, I like to still be open and not have made concrete decisions on how something has to be played.
When you give them freedom to create, there's a magic that happens. Ask Denzel.
Denzel just brought Alonzo up 10 notches based on the script. Coffee shop scene, most of that scene was improv. Jake tells him that story about the DUI stop. The line says in the script is, a DUI stop, wow, go on. But so what Denzel does...
A DUI stop? Wow, let me load up my guns. A DUI? Oh, shit.
Oh my God, you really can tell.
Jake's first training officer was a female. The script has Alonzo saying, your TA was a female? Like, that's it. But the way that he maneuvers and delivers it shows he's about to objectify her a little bit. Like, come on, you gotta tell me.
You tapped that ass, didn't you?
In the script, there's no part where Alonzo scares Jake mid-story.
Real quiet now. Boom!
That was improv. The scene, the whole knife part was improv.
Like, I'm thinking about the gun where he's like tapping them both together and then he like starts scraping them. I was like,
that's just Denzel. Denzel howling like a wolf. Improv. Denzel just did that on his own.
So the wolf does. You a wolf?
The iconic line that we can't say.
My nigga.
My man.
My brother.
Yeah.
Denzel improv that. That was a thing that he said off camera to Ethan Hawke, and Ethan Hawke just started dying laughing at it.
Yeah.
And the director's like, nah, keep that.
The King Kong line, like that's improv.
The whole speech is improv. The speech in the script is not a speech. It's 3 lines. This is all it says in the script. That's right. That's right. I'll burn this down. Take it all down. Walk away. See what happens. No one listens. Alonzo has been abandoned, save for the gangsters guarding him. He despairs in his defeat.
But like, but then within the scenes, he would say like, can I let the reins off of Jake for a second here? You know, he'd say like, he'd go, you can go. And I go, really? And he'd be like, yeah. I mean, is Roger okay with that? Yeah. And then we'd go. And a lot of times it would depend on the actor involved. Like he said, Hugh Jackman is just comfortable in that world. Like he's just like ready to go, you know, and so he allowed for that to happen.
If you're coaching a team and every time a player tries to create and they fail, if you take them out the game, you'll just create a bunch of robots.
Martin was a good guy, man. Martin is a really good guy. Creative and gives you the room to go for it. See, Martin creates an atmosphere that's conducive to creativity.
Got you.
You know, he lets you go for it. He lets you bring it. You know, do what you do. And I don't care what you do. You see, Martin is good. He can let you do what he do because ain't nothing you can do that he can't come back with.
Right.
When you got somebody like that, those people are not afraid to let somebody come in and do their thing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Other stars, they just stick with that right there because they want their stuff to shine over yours. No, Martin ain't like that. Martin let you bring it because you can't bring it harder than Martin. So, when I did Pretty Ricky,
Oh, don't
Martin,
even get me on Pretty Ricky. I've been talking about that all week.
and I took the photo of myself. They didn't want me to do that. I took the first selfie. Remember I did like this? There's a whole website there, the first selfie ever, Pretty Ricky. Remember I walked in that party and I took that picture?
Hell yeah.
I was like, give me a camera. They was like, watch, I'm going to take a picture of myself. They was like, what? No, get out of here. No. Just give it to me anyway.
There's no motivation to break the rules if rules don't exist at all.
Like you play basketball, those boundaries, they let you know something. The fact that you have to dribble and you can't run, they're telling you something. The freedom is bound up with the bondage. So we all can agree on improvisation. Everybody wants to solo. But what about somebody else solo and how you listen to them? The thing that will benefit you the most as a citizen of the world is to learn how to share space.
Twitter was created with character limitations because of SMS restrictions. But then the character limitations became a part of their identity. That made the audience be creative. What can I get across in the least amount of characters as possible?
When you speak about control, sometimes it is not the best of all worlds to have complete and utter control over every actor. They have to have breathing space. It is good sometimes. It's good that they can be the architect of their character.
You can't only think of creativity as something that happens inside of a person. You can create your project in the mind of your team. It's behavioral architecture.
But I got to watch Kanye make some of the last record, not the
Dark Twisted Fantasy record.
Yeah, the Twisted Fantasy record, man, and he lived it.
Yeah,
he was living it, man.
Like when you say he lived it, like was he literally in the studio like a mad scientist every single day?
My man was in the studio kind of every day. But the studio, first of all, I hope he doesn't, Kanye get mad at you and you get dissed on a record. But I was just impressed. Like, first of all, everybody in the studio had suits on. Everybody.
You're kidding me.
I'm serious.
Was that like a prereq?
Yo, I thought he had flown in a bunch of guys from Europe or something, but all the engineers and everybody was in black suits and white shirts and black tie. Like he set up a mood.
Right.
Yeah.
That when you walked in there, you felt this mood. When you went in, especially when you went into Electric Ladyland, you felt like
that's interesting.
It was he set a mood, man, and and you knew he was gonna be there. It was I stopped in there a few nights.
Yeah.
And we did what did we do? We did the Blame Game. We did the Blame Game. Yeah.
Wow, that's interesting.
But he, when you talk to him, he's living it.
He's immersed in it.
He's immersed in it. And when he does the fashion, he's immersed in it.
Yeah.
You can do a bunch of things, but like I always say, do one thing at a time.
People don't behave independently from their surroundings. It's environment design.
What do you consider are the most important factors in this case, building of a factory?
Well, I think the human values involved. I think the lives of the workers. I don't see why it isn't a more profitable thing to make those lives happy. They'll be more productive. And environment, as we found it to be when we built the Johnson building, results in a greatly increased efficiency on their part. If you make them proud of their environment and happy to be where they are, and give them some dignity and pride in their environment, it all comes out to the good where the product is concerned.
The funny thing about hip hop has always been about environment. You speak about the environment, but not only that, why are you looking for empty space? You look for empty space to dance, you're looking for an empty train to tag, but when you think about hip hop as a musical form, you're looking for the break. You're looking for the part of the record that's only drums so you can rap over it. Even though it wasn't intentional, it's like the forefathers left space in the record for hip hop to be born. Miles, he created trust. Björk, she created distance. Scorsese created permission. Martin created confidence. Frank Lloyd Wright created dignity. Kanye created atmosphere. And when you create those things, the art disappears. Maybe we don't control creativity. Maybe our job is to create an environment for the magic to happen. If you want to support the channel, there's a donation link at the top of the description. I can make you look, but I can't make you see. Seeing is a choice. This is Brian from The King's Hand. If you like my channel, please subscribe, please hit like, and hit the notification bell. Until next time.
The appointed hand of the king.
They called them the King's Hand, children born without a limb, yet gifted with sight beyond reason.